All right, let's talk about something I know a lot of you have felt. That frustrating plateau. You know the one, where you just can't seem to get past 20 or 30 push-ups, no matter what you do. Well, what if I told you the way to break through isn't just about trying harder, but about training smarter? Today, we're going to break down a method that's designed to absolutely smash that barrier. So, does this feel familiar? You can crank out 20, maybe even 30 push-ups on a really good day. But the idea of hitting 50 or 70 or even 100 in one go just feels impossible. It's like you've slammed into a brick wall, and no matter how many reps and sets you do, that number just refuses to move. So, why are you stuck? Well, the reason might sound a little harsh, but it's the key to everything. The problem is the method itself. That classic advice we've all heard, just do 3 sets of 10, is fundamentally broken if your goal is real, high-rep endurance. It's time to throw that old thinking out the window. So let's dig into this whole push-up plateau thing. We need to understand why that old advice is actually what's been holding you back. It all boils down to what you're really training your muscles to do. Okay, here's the absolute heart of the problem. When you do multiple sets with rests in between, you're training for volume, the total number of reps you do in an entire workout. But to do 90+ push-ups in one single attempt, that's not volume. That is pure insane endurance. And that, my friends, is a completely different beast that needs a completely different way of training. All right, let's get even more specific. What's the actual practical difference between the way most people train and the way you need to train for this? Well, it's pretty much night and day. So look at this. On one side, you've got the standard method, right? It's all about doing a bunch of small sets and you stop when it gets tough. You're just counting sets to hit a target. But the endurance method, it's the total opposite. It's one giant, brutal set. You don't stop when it's hard, you intentionally push past that wall. You're not counting sets, you're actively looking for and embracing muscle failure. And that brings us to the secret sauce. This is the big idea, the elite-level secret that makes this whole system work. It's a simple but incredibly powerful idea called the failure principle. So what the heck is a push-up progressive failure ladder? Don't let the name intimidate you. It's actually a pretty straightforward concept. It's a method where you completely, and I mean completely, exhaust your muscles. How? By starting with the hardest push-up you can possibly do, going until you physically fail, and then with absolutely zero rest, you immediately switch to an easier version and do it all over again. If you remember anything from this, remember these 2 rules. Hardest to easiest and zero rest. That's the whole philosophy right there. You're constantly making the exercise easier, which tricks your already fatigued muscles into keep working. You're wringing out every single last drop of energy without giving them a moment to recover. Okay, theory is cool and all, but let's get to the good stuff. How do you actually do this? Let's walk through the practical, step-by-step breakdown of the workout. The structure's surprisingly simple, but trust me, doing it is anything but. Yup, that's it. The whole thing is built around just 4 moves. But the magic isn't in the exercises themselves. It's in how you string them together, back to back to back, in one single, non-stop waterfall of a set designed for total exhaustion. All right, here we go. This is the ladder. You start at the top, the hardest rung, decline push-ups with your feet up on a bench. You go till you literally can't push yourself up anymore. The second you fail, boom, your feet hit the floor and you're immediately into standard full push-ups. No rest. You do those until you fail again. Then right away, you find a chair for your hands and go into incline push-ups. And when you fail there, you drop to your knees for the final step, knee push-ups. You just keep going until there is absolutely nothing left in the tank. Now, this is maybe the most important mindset shift you have to make. I need you to hear this. Failure is the goal. We're not counting reps here. We're not aiming for 3 sets of 10. We're aiming for that exact moment where your muscles give out and you can't do one more clean rep. That's not losing. That's winning. That's the trigger to move to the next step. Okay, so you've got the brutal but effective technique down. The question is, how often do you actually put yourself through this without burning out? Let's talk about what your new training routine is going to look like. Here's the plan, and it's simple but intense. You're going to run through that entire 4-step ladder 2 to 3 times per day. And remember, one run-through means going from decline all the way down to your knees. You'll do this on 3 or 4 days a week, and please listen to your body and take those rest days. That's when the real recovery and growth actually happens.
Look, at the end of the day, this is about more than just push-ups. It's a completely different way of thinking about training. It's about deciding you're done with those comfortable workouts that don't really get you anywhere. It's time to, well, you see it right there. Stop training like an amateur and start training like a beast.
So that's the whole thing. A system that completely flips the script on what failure means in a workout. It's not the end point, it's the engine for your success. Yeah, it's intense, it's demanding, and it probably flies in the face of everything you've been told before. So the only real question left is, are you ready to embrace failure?